How far, guys? Right in front of me is all new Honda Civic, and this car is a game changer in the family of Civic. And on this video, we'll be going into details about the new features of the Honda Civic. Meanwhile, as you can see, it was about drizzling when I get to my filming location, but you know what? This rain can't stop me. So in this video, I'll be telling you the difference between this variant, which is the E-Spec, compared to the V-Spec and RS. But before we continue, I am Paularge and you're watching Drip Cars. Terima kasih. What did you say, nigga? According to Honda, this is the 10th generation in the Honda Civic family. And guys, what do you think about the look of this car? In my own opinion, I would say this car is looking more cool and friendly compared to its previous generation. Let's jump into it. Coming to the front, this car comes in full LED headlamp, which you find in other variants, the V-Spec and RS. And right down here, this is the E-Spec, which is the lowest variant in the market. It doesn't come with a fog lamp, but the V-Spec and RS have fog lamp. Right here, it comes with a large honeycomb grille, which is looking pretty simple. And right here also is looking simple. Trust me, there is no much details to tell about this car front look because it's looking simple and good. This car also comes with a remote engine start and the walk-away lock, just like this. Oh my God! Wow! Coming to the side of this car, it comes in 16-inch alloy rim with a ventilated disc brake. Other variants of this car comes in different size of alloy rim. The V-Spec comes in 17-inch alloy rim, while the RS comes in 18-inch alloy rim. This one right here, as we all know, it comes in 16-inch alloy rim. Coming to this side, under the left side mirror, it doesn't have a camera right here, which is known as the Honda Lane Watch, which you're going to find in other variants. The V-Spec have the Honda Lane Watch and the RS. Because this is the lowest spec, so it doesn't come with the Honda Lane Watch, which assists you in lane departure. At this side, you're going to notice this car comes in smart entry from both sides, the driver and the passenger side, which is very easy to access into this car without opening it from the driver door handle. Coming to the back side, the back comes in solid disc brake, and which is a standard. You're going to find it in other variants as well. One thing I like about the side look of this car is the back is looking flat and it makes it look sporty, just like the previous generation. And this car length is 4,678 millimeters long of length. And if you want this car to look more sportier than it's looking right now, you have to get the modular body kit, which costs extra money from Honda. Coming to the rear view of this car, I believe you all agree with me that there's nothing really much to talk about the rear view of this car, as I believe you agree with me that it's looking good and simple with less detail. Starting from the tail light is really looking nice. And right here you have the Civic. Coming to this side, you have the Honda badge and the VTEC Turbo. This car comes in 1.5 liters turbo engine, which we're going to be discussing about that from the front side. But for now, let's jump into the trunk. This car comes in a total capacity of 497 liters of space. And if you want more space, you can pull this handle and pull this handle, then take this down and take this down. You get more space. One thing I like about the trunk is it comes in hydraulic pump, which makes it easy for you to open and also for you to load your things inside. All you have to do is just open and it opens up itself. And right here you're going to notice it have hydraulic pump, which makes it easy to open compared to the previous generation. And right under this carpet, there is a spare tire right there with a tools box, which you're going to use to change this tire when you have a damaged tire. Above all, it's looking good. Hold on guys, before I must have forgotten, I didn't tell you guys that this car comes in dual exhaust tailpipe, which you find as standard in other variants. The V-Spec, the RS, they all have dual exhaust pipe. And right here there's a reverse camera, which is a standard. You also find this in the V-Spec and the RS. Above all, the rear look is good. Let's talk about the interior. Come with me. Guys, this is the most interesting part of this review, which is this car interior. This car interior comes in new design compared to its previous generation. The only thing that remains the same in this car interior design is the Honda logo right here. Every other thing in this car comes in new. Starting from the Econ vent, which looks pretty different from the previous generation, and the handle feels solid and also easy to control. Down here, we still have the traditional analog Econ control right here, which this is the mode, the fan speed, and the temperature right here, which is looking pretty good. This car comes in 7-inch infotainment system, which the other variant comes in 9-inch infotainment system. And this car also supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But since this is the lower spec, which is the E spec, it comes in plug-in Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which you have to do through this USB port right here. And the material on this car dashboard feels solid and expensive. Actually, it's a thick plastic right here. And talking about the steering wheel, it comes in multifunction steering wheel with adaptive cruise control with other safety features on the steering. At this side, you have your infotainment control from here, and this has been wrapped in leather. And the gauge cluster comes in digital and analog, which the higher spec comes in full digital gauge cluster. And the steering wheel also have adjustable steering wheel, which is easy for you to set your best driving position right here. The door handle is one other thing I like about this car, because the door handle feels good. It really feels solid to handle, which is what I expect from Honda Civic, as it's a big car in the market industry. I'm gonna check slam test on this car to know how solid this car door feels. We have the 12-volt plug-in socket right here, and right here we have a storage space which you can use for your phone. The other spec comes with wireless charging right here. And also at this side, you're going to find out that this car have an eco mode, parking, and brake hold. Actually, in other variants, this car have the sport mode and normal mode, which you can select and switch from here by yourself. But since this is the lower spec, it doesn't have those features. And right here is a storage space, which is functional. The space is big, and there's also a mini storage space organizer right here, which you can also keep your keys or any other smaller items right here. Coming to this side is a glove box, which the space is not really big, but it's okay. And the armrest doesn't really feel solid compared to the front part. It's not solid. Right up here is mirror, which you can use to beautify yourself. And you have LED reading light right here, okay, and the standard mirror right here, which is okay. There's one more thing about this car. The E-spec comes in fabric material, unlike the V and RS comes in leather material. One more thing about the E-spec, it comes in manual seat adjustment. The front passenger seat and the driver seat comes in manual adjustment. Compared to the other variant, driver seat comes in electric. In the V-spec and the RS, passenger seat still remains manual, just like this car. Above all, the seat position is really good. And the head position of this car is also okay. Compared to my height, it's okay. And let's go to the back and check out what the space look like at the back. Come with me. Right at the rear seat of this car, there's nothing really much to tell from the rear seat. As you can see with my driving seat position from the front, there's still a lot of legroom space for me. And the only difference is there's no tight support from here. This is a sedan, so I don't expect much from this car. It's having a lower seat, so there's no much tight support right here. And right on top the roof, there is also headroof space for me, which is okay if you ask me. Okay, and right here there's two Econ vents for the rear seat and two USB charging ports at the rear seat. Back to the seat, there's two cup holder right here with armrest, which fits two bottles. There's nothing much to tell about the rear seat of this car. Above all, it's looking good. Let's talk about the performance of this car, and which right under the hood we have 1.5 liters turbocharged engine, 4-cylinder with 16 valve, and this car produced 182 horsepower, 240 newton meters of torque. And if you want to find out the 0 to 100 of this car, it's in these seconds. And we're going to be taking this car on a ride to know how the performance feels on the road. So come with me, let's go. Let's start this driving by talking about this car turning radius, which is 5.8 mm. It's not so bad, most especially in tight neighborhood just like this. There are more things you're still gonna like about this car in terms of performance. Let's talk about the transmission of this car. It feels smooth compared to the previous generation. You don't even know when it changes gear, it just goes smoothly. One thing about this car is the takeoff speed of this car is not so impressive, but it's still okay. Let's take it for a cornering test to see how the suspension feels like. This car comes in McPherson strut front suspension and multi-link rear suspension, and other variants come with the same suspension. Nice cornering performance. I am impressed with the stability of this car cornering performance, and the steering handling is decent in cornering areas, so it's good. The noise coming from outside is less, even when you accelerate fast. Let's bring it to a bumpy road to see how smooth the suspension feels like. I am impressed with the suspension. You get less noise even when you drive fast on a bumpy road, and it really feels smooth. How far, guys? That comes to the end of this video. Please don't forget to share your thoughts with me in the comment section, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In that way, you're not gonna miss any of my single posts. And don't forget, the starting price of this Honda Civic is 131,900. Do you think the Honda Civic E-Spec worth over 131,900 Malaysian ringgit? Tell me in the comment section below what you think about this car. Thank you and peace out.